So today's practice will be for the metal element of traditional Chinese medicine. This is sense of letting go, releasing. All yin practices are about creating space, making room for something new. So you might like to just start by taking a deep sigh, and if you can, you might close your eyes, but it's not important. If you feel better leaving your eyes open, leave them open. We're going to take our palms, cross them over, and just get a sense for the inside of your wrists. And we're going to stack the inside of our wrist directly over our heart center. And fingers should end up just under the collarbone, just inside the shoulder joint, bit of a kind of fleshy part of the body where our pectoral muscle is. And just see if you can bring your attention to your upper chest, to where your lungs are. Just allow them to expand and contract. Notice if there's any tension or tightness anywhere in your face, might be in your jaw, your cheeks. You might even crack a little smile. Just the smile of this gratitude for every practice throughout the year. Smile of acknowledgement that we have shown up. So give each breath all the time it needs. You might just follow this breath in. Next breath out. Allowing each breath to follow its own pattern. It might naturally become a little deeper, a little slower. You might become aware of the crown of your head. Just feel it just gently lifting, back of the neck long. Maybe chin tucking in a little. Keep your shoulder blades heavy. You might become conscious of every vertebrae of the spine. Just notice them stacking one over the other. You might become aware of the gap between your shoulders and your ears. The weight of your arms. Or maybe just all the parts of your legs connecting to the ground beneath. Bring our metal element into balance through the simple act of appreciation. And we might just appreciate our body for what it is, including all its imperfections, just keeping us alive. We might appreciate the sounds around us. I just got a little family of swallows that seem to have moved in somewhere near the roof, and maybe you can't hear them, but keeping me company today. Maybe you just appreciate the sounds of nature wherever you are. If you can appreciate anything about this moment, this place, this activity, move our mind away from what's missing, what's gone, what's lacking, and we focus purely on what is. And when you're ready, we're going to slowly come down onto our bolster, lying our spine down the whole length of it. So take your time. You might want to have a blanket close by too, in case you get cold later on. And we'll just lay the bolster lengthways, bring our tailbone onto one end, and hopefully it will be long enough to support our neck and head at the other end. And see if you can just let your shoulders kind of drape over both sides of the bolster so that the chest is open, heart is open. To found this shape, so spine supported, tailbone supported, head supported. Let's take a deep sigh. The feeling of surrendering and maybe a little bit melting into the ground beneath. We'll give you an option here. You might like to draw the feet together and open the knees wide. Soles of the feet together. It's entirely up to you. You can keep your legs where they were if you like. Once you feel settled in the shape, start to follow the breath again. Deep, slow, inviting in calm and ease. Mind's drifted away as it will. Just invite it back into the body. You might like to take a few intentional breaths. If you do have your knees out wide, just slowly draw them back in towards each other. You might even like to roll on the tailbone just a little. And when you're ready, we'll all just slowly roll off the bolster. And keeping the head heavy, we'll press ourselves up into an all forward shape. So hands come under shoulders and knees come under hips. And you might like to just press through the floor, just pouring through the floor, shifting weight. You might like to take your fingers out wide or bring them towards the body. Let's see if we can raise and lower the whole torso by pressing through the hands. Get a sense for your shoulders today. We're going to be working our shoulders a little bit. You might like to sway the hips. You might like to tuck the toes at the back. Okay, our next yin shape today is going to be, usually you would call it in yoga class, we would call it a thread the needle. We're going to take one arm across and under, and then head all the way down. Take your time, no rushing to this one. Should feel a strong sensation in the shoulder. And you might just stay in this shape, but I'll give you some options. Just if you would like to explore, you might like to explore by taking the other arm behind. So we're rolling our shoulders one on top of the other. And this might be where you want to stay too. Take a few breaths here. If you need more support, unwrap the arm. And if you'd like to try one more, you might like to extend the opposite leg and tuck the toes, maybe, but only if you can sigh out and hold this shape without too much effort. Let the body really sink into the support of the ground. Won't be here too long. Should feel strong sensation in the top of your shoulder. Keep sighing out. Allowing the sensation will be there. We're nourishing our joints, hydrating our joints. Okay, we're going to unravel, same way we came back in. Maybe the knee comes down, maybe we take the hands back under the shoulders, slowly lifting up. You might like to pat out a little again. And then we'll do the same shape on the other side. Reach the arm under, drop the head down. This might be where you want to be, but if you'd like to try rolling the shoulders or extending the opposite leg, take your time. And whenever you're ready, unraveling, come up as slowly as you can. And you might like to just notice shoulders. Just roll the shoulders, roll the spine. Our next shape is quite intense. We're going to tuck our toes and drop our tailbone down. And see if you can just stack your shoulders over your hips. So quite a strong feeling, strong sensation. Once you're in the shape, just take a few breaths. You might notice mind trying to tug you out of this, saying toes hurt, need to move. When you get that message, just notice it and see if you can just take another breath. Toes won't fall off. You'll notice this feeling of discomfort being a little distinct from feelings of pain. Pain tends to be short and sharp, and this kind of feeling, this sort of dull, aching feeling, we can use it. Helps us build resilience. We can take our attention elsewhere. Just try it. Take your attention to the top of your nose or tip of your elbow, the end of your fingers. Just notice how wherever we take our attention, something shifts. So maybe that strong feeling is coming back to your attention now. Just notice that too. We'll take just a few more breaths here. If you need to come out, of course. Every cue is just an invitation. When you're ready, slowly float forward. We're going to tap out that toes. And when you're ready, we'll come down all the way. We're going to lie down and extend one arm out to the side. So I'm going to use my right arm, but whatever works best for you. And then with our left arm under the shoulder, we're just going to roll our body onto the side. Keep your head heavy, keep your shoulder flat to the ground. And what we're looking for here is to stack our hips, our knees, our feet. Once you're in the shape, just sigh out. You might like to bend the top leg and just give yourself a little bit of a kind of lock in place. Sometimes this helps keep our hips stacked. Most important thing here is to keep the head heavy. And you might remember at the start of the practice, we had our fingers right at the start of our lung meridian, just under the collarbone, just inside the shoulder joint. And this is the exact same spot that is connecting with the ground right now. In an energetic sense, it's where we hold sadness and grief in the body, holding on to things from the past that might have gone or might have left us. So you might notice wherever your mind takes you without any judgment. Be here maybe 2 more minutes. Take 2 more breaths together. You're ready. We're just going to roll over onto our belly, extend the legs, bring the arms down by the side. You might like to turn your neck to the other side. And just allow a sense of deep surrender into the ground. Nowhere else we need to be right now. When you're ready, we're going to go to the other side. So I'm extending my left arm, but same shape. We're going to roll our body onto the side. Head stays heavy. Arm face down. You might like to lock the leg in shape again. And let's see if we can bring our attention right back to those lung points. Take 2 more breaths here. Extending the legs, rolling back onto our belly. Big, deep sigh. When you're ready, we'll bring our elbows underneath the shoulders. And try and drop your shoulder blades as far down the spine as you can. Our palms are face down. Once you're in this shape, you might like to take a breath. Feel your belly press into the floor, spine rise up. And then as you let that breath go, feel the spine sink down. And we just follow the rise and fall of our spine. Feel the back of the neck long, the head heavy. At the end of your next breath, let's come all the way down. And we'll press ourselves back up. We're just going to turn over now. And take your spine down to the ground. We're going to take 1 foot over the opposite knee. You might like to just bring the hands onto the body, not trying to get anywhere. Spine stays heavy. Let's extend our arms out wide, shoulders heavy. You might like to lift the hip a little bit to away from the knee and then roll the knee across. See if you can take your time to explore this. Maybe the knee comes all the way down to the ground, but use your breath to get there. No sense of effort. Use gravity, use breath. Shoulders stay heavy to the ground. Let's roll back onto our spine, unraveling the legs, feet back to the ground. You might like to open through the knees a little, through the hips. And whenever you're ready, palms come back onto the body. We'll take our opposite foot over the knee, spine heavy, foot on the floor. And just like we did on the other side, you might extend the arms wide now. Maybe lift the hip a little to one side, drop the knee to the other. Let your body unravel slowly. You might notice the difference on one side. Take 3 more breaths here. Slowly unraveling. Keep the body heavy if you can. If you feel like you might like to use a blanket, we'll be still for the next 5 or so minutes without bringing too much stress into the body. Extend extend the blanket. And we'll just come into our final resting shape. You might like to place the fingers back onto those long points, crossing the palms to start. Maybe scanning the whole back of the body. And then when you're ready, extend the arms out. Open the heart one last time. And take a moment to acknowledge wherever your mind has drifted to. Maybe extend through the fingers, wiggle the toes. Maybe reach the arms overhead. Ooh. Let's roll onto our side, buddy. No rush to get up. And slowly pressing up when you're ready. I like to bring the palms together. As always, just taking a moment to acknowledge our choice to practice. And let's extend that gratitude to each other.